All right, welcome everybody to Resurrection Cup Grand Finals, losers side of the bracket. We have kotomiler as seed 1 up against Bobik, I believe seed 4. A rematch, these two already duked it out, I believe, in semifinals. kotomiler came out top the first time around, but they did get defeated by the American squad on tiebreaker. Pretty cool match. But I am Vorty, and joining alongside me is Maz. How you doing, man?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Excited to be here for the grand final in the lower bracket here. It's going to be a pretty high matchup. We got arguably what you would call, I would say, a super team. When you've got players like Malashevsky on a roster like this, intercamming, some very, very big names, and that's just to mention a couple. Going up against probably a team that's looking to make, I would say, an underdog story here in the Resurrection Cup in this lowest grand final match. A lot of very, very strong Russian players. Players like Welter, Lexus, who's an up-and-coming player who's been looking incredible. You've got Squirrel, of course, and other players in this team like Raf GPO, Antonio. So some other really big names as well, but not players you would typically see at the very, very pinnacle of tourney play. But they're in this tourney to prove themselves here in this matchup today, definitely coming in as the underdogs. So we'll see what kind of performance they can put up on a pool that is really, really hard. And by the way, really sick. This pool is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this when I looked at the pool. This might be the coolest pool I've ever seen after all the matches I've commentated. Full custom full custom maps. Every single map is a custom map. And 4 of the maps are custom songs, which is awesome. 3 of them having, I believe, custom vocals, which is really, really sick. The amount of effort that has gone into this pool is absolutely unreal. So I'm hoping both of the grand finals matches drag along as long as possible, just because I want to see more of these get played. Lots of really fun maps here, but obviously very difficult maps as well, being grand final stage. And I think the question for Bobik, all of these players on the team are exceptional tournament players. The question is, how do they measure up in terms of skill cap? And that's probably where kotomiler is going to be strongest, is those really hard picks. Funnily enough, though, kotomiler banning out what I think is probably the hardest map of the pool, which is the free mod 2, one of the custom songs. Very, very difficult speed map in the free mod slot. I guess not wanting to pick the speed.
Yeah, possibly. It might be what it's looking like here. And it's going to be interesting what the strategy is going to be for Bobik on the picks and bans, particularly the bans, because of course when you're going into a super team like kotomiler with players such as Malashevsky, just to name one, they don't really have many weaknesses. So what do you really pick and ban into a team like this? And well, the answer at the end of the day is I think you just play for yourself. You play for your own team's strengths and play against your own team's weaknesses. Ban what you think you're bad at, pick what you think you're good at, regardless of the other team's lineups. I think that is probably can be said for the majority of cases in a matchup like this, where you're coming in as the underdogs, versing such a versatile roster with so many good players. So probably what I'm expecting out of Bobik here, potentially just something they don't want to play. Maybe that DT3 is just something they're not comfortable with. They don't have the lineup for speed. So yeah, getting rid of that one.
Potentially, I mean, they have on paper, if you have a full roster, they have some exceptional tapping players. They obviously did very well at every skill set and qualities, but yeah, if you're like missing Ninorik, you're missing Matthew or Tomashik, some of your reliable tapping demons, and you don't feel like you have a roster for it. It's fair to just not want to play it sometimes. But here we go into the first map, custom by Taikani. Just like I think like a way to describe this map pool is it's just like very. It's like fun hard, like because you have like no mod 3s that throw like really weird patterns at you, really wacky patterns at you. This is like a straightforward difficult no mod 3, and I think the same can be said of a lot of the maps in this pool. And I think what makes a lot of these maps so fun is that they're just straightforward difficult in the skill set, that it's slotted for.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm remembering correctly in this no mod 3, I think this map like specifically just has some really disgusting like accelerating flow aim patterns, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's just it looks so unbelievably hard to hold on to combo in this map. So something really cool about this pool as well, of course, this is the first time we're getting a match actually showcasing this pool. And every single map in this pool is a custom alongside 4 custom songs for the pool as well, being that No Mod 1, Hard Rock 2, Free Mod 2, and the Tiebreaker. All custom songs as well, so lots of love going into this pool. And we're getting the No Mod 3 out here early from one of the fellow casters in the tournament as well, and one of the poolers, I believe.
Yes, I got him.
Yeah, here it is, the No Mod 3, and yeah, so
I mean,
keep a lookout for those patterns.
You look at the roster, the Malashevsky, worst HR player, Kriller Nahus. Yeah, some of the best aim control players in the game. On the side of Bobik, you have Antonio, Mark from Jackpack Scat Money, and they're like players who are good at No Mod 3s, like for sure. You put these players up against many other teams. I mean, they're here for a reason. They're at the grand final stage for a reason. But I mean, we'll see how they score up. You know, as you mentioned, they're definitely the underdogs in this matchup, but they have enough power on the team to put up at least a fight.
And I mean, they managed to prove themselves from making it to top 3 in the tournament here into the grand final stage. So we'll see how they're going to perform on a pool at such a high difficulty level. But early on, things already favoring kotomiler quite heavily. But very, very early days. And yeah, keen to see if anyone can get any demon combos on this map, because this map really did look extremely hard. You can see just already crazy mechanics coming into this one, even early on. Some of the aim is already brutal. But we are going to be moving into this first TI very shortly. And here's some of the flow patterns I was talking about. And you've also so much aim control, finger control in here as well, with so many different cut patterns, but players managing to handle them. There goes a few drops. West Hard Rock player down, Nahu's down, Gap Money, Antonio, so many drops. It's just Malashevsky with the FC and Kriller with a nice supporting combo up against Markham and Jackpacks, but they just do not have enough combo to combat these advances from kotomiler. But there goes Malashevsky, and that's what Bobik need to try and get any headway back into the map, but it's already 250,000 difference.
Yeah, already such a big lead, and you still have Kriller as the biggest combo. Jackpacks falling down. That was the 250 supporting combo. Well, you know, the biggest combo for Bobik, but now that's gone. So just Kriller does find a break, but I mean, with how difficult this map is, already almost halfway through now, who's on 300, worst HR player, did find a break, but it's just like, it's a tough one to hold. And with the lead that kotomiler already has, they've not pulled out. But I mean, this is kotomiler's first pick with some very premier aim control players.
No one's really able to hold on to combos in this map, kind of what I expected. Just disgustingly hard on some of these wiggles and some of these control patterns. But there are some combos on the board, but it's just not really much to speak of. Gap Money with the biggest combo to speak of, but it's 370k diff, and with no considerable combos in the lobby, it's just already looking like it's sealed for kotomiler here on the first pick of the match. But yeah,
and the accuracy is just picked to the comfort. The lowest AC on the side of kotomiler is Kriller at 96. Meanwhile, you have Gat Money overmapped. Jackpacks throwing some mapping criticism.
But yeah, I think this one is already signed, sealed, and delivered here for kotomiler. Early on, you can just see, the transfers and some of these flow patterns, dude. It just looks disgustingly hard. Kriller has got a demon combo right now, the only one doing anything on this map with his combo right now.
Oh, look at that slider tick cheese. Oh, you gotta love the slider tick cheese, just aiming each tick and not the slider itself. Unfortunately, it does find a break at the end there, but
didn't even top score, by the way. Malashevsky actually still maintaining that top score, but Kriller going crazy at the end there, eclipsing that 400k. And there it goes, almost nearing double the team score here for kotomiler on the first pick. So gonna go very, very favorably in their direction on the first pick of the match. But I mean, one of the harder maps, I won't lie. So I think the more extremely intensive mechanics maps we are going to get, I think we're going to see probably it be favored more heavily towards kotomiler, just because of the skill cap, I think, required for this pool.
Yeah, most likely, and just a very, very dominant first pick. Every single player on the side of kotomiler outperforming the top scorer Jackpacks on the No Mod 3. 9 misses though from Jackpacks, pretty solid. But I mean, Malice 3 miss, yeah, just a performance you kind of expect, but no, nobody FCing, nobody getting like a crazy combo, but just really solid overall team score. In a map like that, it's tough really to string any big combo.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was kotomiler's first pick. So now into Bobik's pick, and I wonder if they're going to go sort of in the direction that I was thinking, maybe avoid the really, really difficult mechanics, high skill cap maps as much as possible, because, this kotomiler team's skill cap is quite literally near infinite. I don't really want to, I wouldn't want to verse them on things like that no mod 3. So what are we thinking here? Maybe some small circles, maybe something in that free mod category, try and do something a little less generic. And yeah, it is going to be free mod 3.
We go for the anti-mod map. I believe CS 5.2 AR 8.5, so maybe a little bit lenient to hidden in terms of the stats, but in terms of this map itself, very, very cut stream heavy, which cut streams on both small circles and low AR hidden are like both brutal. Like there's really no, they're both just really, really hard. So it's very difficult either way, but a custom from Shrelia. Yeah, I think this is going to be a map where you just got to get some good no mod scores in, because the modded people are going to have a tough time.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a pool at this difficulty level, like the hard rock player is going to cop it, unless they're just insane. I'm kind of expecting maybe someone on the side of kotomiler, whoever takes that hard rock, probably going to end up doing decently well, maybe. We'll have to see. But I definitely know something like hard rock here is just going to be extremely brutal. Interested to see the mod lineups though. Don't really know what to expect. When you get to a level like this deep into a tournament, sometimes there could be some curveballs. I think the hard rock player is generally more predictable, but yeah, definitely lineups aren't always clear cut for things like free mod.
It's tough, especially at this difficulty, because do you put your best player on the mod, or do you put them on no mod and bank on like a consistent score? Because when it gets like this difficult, both are valid in their own way. It's completely like fair to like put somebody like, worst HR player or Malice, on paper probably the best of this. Or the thing is, Kriller is also really good. They kind of have their pick of players. I imagine it's either Malice or worst HR player in the hard rock for kotomiler, and then like either any of those three can, including Kriller, can take hidden. For Bobik, we'll see. Markram almost definitely is taking hidden. That's almost guaranteed. As far as hard rock, we will see.
Yeah, someone like Markram is kind of the signature hidden player, I think, in pretty much every team tourney does play in. But the hard rock, I was going to say possibly someone like Jackpax, but it's going to be Antonio on that hard rock for Bobik. And on the side of kotomiler, it's actually going to be Kriller. See, like, as we were saying, that's not something you generally expect. I think you see a lineup like this, I don't expect to see Kriller on the hard rock, but there he is. He is going to be on that hard rock.
And I believe with the rules of the free mod, everybody has to have a mod. So there's no escaping this map. You're getting punished either way, regardless of which choice you made. But both teams opting for 3 hidden and 1 hard rock.
Makes sense. Absolutely. I think is obviously hard rock here. You can already see, just look at the mechanics requirement. If you just have a look at Kriller or Antonio's screens on some of these patterns, especially like the wiggle aim control squares we just saw, it looks disgustingly hard to aim anything whatsoever. Finding drops on this map repeatedly, the whole lobby really ain't able to get much going. It's kind of just worst hard rock player right now, and Gap Money, but there goes Gap Money. Oh, and Markram, of course, still holding as well. Worst hard rock player and Markram holding on nice and strong here onto these combos, but the lead firmly in the favor of kotomiler here by about 300k, all on the shoulders of Markram to keep his team alive in the final third of this map.
See all of these cuts and these wiggles, just so brutal on these mods. And interesting to note, no Welter or Skrull for the side of Bobik, which is interesting because kind of anticipate those players to be sort of your carries generally. At least Welter, imagine, would play hard rock, but also, it's completely fair if other teammates would rather play. But as you can see, it's kind of a similar situation to No Mod 3. Not many combos at this point into the map, Malice being the remaining 300 combo, but just an overall strong performance off the back of some really solid hiddens from, Worst HR and Malice.
Yeah, I mean, some nice scores there. Worst hard rock player getting a cheeky little combo earlier on. A one
One
miss,
miss.
96%, just destroying the rest of the lobby. Actually, Markram,
Marco
I
with
mean,
two.
quietly
Jeez.
in the corner, 2 miss, 550k, actually beating worst hard rock player's score. That's an
Oh,
incredible score from Markram to get in a lobby like this, to beat the whole team of kotomiler with only 2 misses and only lose to worst hard rock player on miscount. That is a very, very impressive feat.
I mean, I think that's probably why they picked it. It is for the Markram goat hidden pop off, and I mean, he showed his skills there, topping the lobby on this map with some of the other, best aim control players in the game, and performances like that show you like why they got to where they did. Right, they have some heavy hitters in pretty specialized skill sets, but the tough thing with kotomiler is just the rest of the team is also putting up some pretty good supporting combos, and it's just really yeah. It's a task to form a team of 4 who can match up every single time.
Yeah, Markram a little bit alone there, unfortunately. I believe maybe even like 1v3ing his other teammates with his total score there. It was just
Actually,
the
yeah, maybe you're
overall,
right.
yeah, the overall team average for kotomiler just much, much higher. Having 4 players very comfortable at this skill level, whereas for Bobik, might be struggling on some of these maps to find a confident 4-man. And not to any fault of their own. This pool is absolutely brutal. This is for, the complete pinnacle of tournament players are only going to have, be consistent on maps like this. It's just, you really can't blame them for not getting some consistent, 400 plus Ks. Maps like this are just so hard to get high scores on consistently.
Yeah, but going into kotomiler's second pick, double time for custom by local hero. And this is an interesting map. It's like a mix of like finger control, reading, still pretty high BPM, obviously 262. The double time pool overall is pretty tapping heavy. This is like the least tapping heavy, tapping-esque map. Obviously trading some of raw stamina for more reading elements, but another fair pick for kotomiler, I think, leaning on some of their players who are maybe good at the reading aspect, but not as good at the stamina aspect of things like DT2, DT3, which were banned.
Yeah, I think this pick makes sense too, because from what I remember, this was also one of the hardest maps. I believe it was one of the hardest maps in the pool. Just the general mechanics required on this was really, really high. If this was the one I am thinking of, it was, and I'm not confusing it with like DT3. Yeah, I believe this map was extremely difficult. So, I mean, it makes sense for kotomiler to be, again, going into these high skill cap maps. They already see how the match is panning out. They see that No Mod 3 was so convincing, and it was one of the harder maps, so yeah. I mean, yeah, look at this map, man.
Oh, man.
What is this?
Dude, the finger control is wild.
Yeah. This is just completely and utterly unplayable, but Krilla and Nahu's making it look playable right now, as well as Malashevsky. Nahus does go down. Tomash holding up a nice combo too, goes down. Just Krilla and Malashevsky. I mean, does anyone have the skill cap to play this besides these players, I guess? I guess, overall, kotomiler putting up some pretty consistent scores. Tomash also looking really good, but I just don't know if it's... I just don't know if they have the lineup on the side of Bobik. I mean, they banned the speed pick, so makes sense.
Duality of tournament player Markram going from top scoring the hidden reading map to 50% AC on the tapping map. That is just life. That is just a tourney experience. Yeah, how much you can do. Thomas Shake now on the best accuracy and combo.
Wow. Yeah, Tomash putting in work right now for his team. This is crazy. Yeah, Markram unfortunately down on the 6,000 score. I have a feeling Bobik is unfortunately missing some players, it seems like. I'm not sure. But, I mean, obviously, I don't see why Markram would be in with 6,000 when they have a player like Welter on their team.
Yeah.
So it seems like that may unfortunately be the case for Bobik. Which doesn't bode well for a close matchup. But we'll see what Markram can get done here on the DT4. See if he can eclipse, stay above that 50% mark. It is brutal. Tomash putting up by far the highest score in this lobby, and it's not even remotely close. Unbelievable score from him. The only A rank still standing. And I mean, look at this. You just see the team averages here. A's and B's on the side of kotomiler. C's and D's for Bobik.
I mean, yeah, I believe both Tomashik and Kriller are both 1v4ing.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you mentioned, you definitely expect Welter, if they were available, to be in. Probably the best tapping player on the team, but the fact that he's not in for this map probably just implies he's not here at all.
Yeah, which is not a good sign, because I think if you want a chance of beating the super team, they needed their full roster. Especially a player like Welter is an absolute monster. So, unfortunately for Markram, I do feel that. He's unable to keep up, and honestly, so am I, and I'm just watching.
Yeah. So, I'm misreading the triples on the commentator side.
Yeah. But it's going to be a quick 3-0. Unfortunately, kotomiler over 4xing Bobik's total score there. So not even remotely close. I think kotomiler is going to have their picks cut out for them in the rest of this match. And Bobik, I think at this point, winning the match is going to be complete stretch of what I'd even call a miracle. I mean, it's going to be so difficult, just to put it bluntly. But I think at this point, you'd just be rooting for hopefully them to get a couple points on the board. And I think for that to happen, they're going to have to go for something gimmicky again. They cannot go into mechanics against this team, especially without players like Welter.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. I think you go for either two routes. You go for gimmicky maps, obviously just strengths you have, or just go for bangers.
Yeah.
Pick some juicers. They go for free mod 4 though, so going for the gimmick route, picking the rhythm free mod. Traditionally it used to be like no mod 6 slot. Obviously now usually these types of maps get pulled in free mod, custom by Nightcore, and yes, it's your classic variable rhythm map.
Yep, I like this picking strat. You've got really no chance, I think, on anything that's got really hard mechanics against this team right now. Gimmicky maps, on the other hand, every player in this lobby is going to have the mechanics for a map like this. Who can hold the nerves better? Who can have better finger control? Some slightly better, more consistent aim control? You know, not fall down to nerves as much. There's always chances for RNG misses in maps like this, so go for it. I think something like this can have a much better chance of working out in your favor. There's much more variables in a map like this, kind of what I'm trying to say, compared to, you know, any sort of mechanics map.
Yeah, I mean, I also do think this plays into Markram's strengths, which is so far their best chance they had of getting a point was off the back of Markram on free mod 3. So, yeah, staying in that lane is, I think, a good decision. Sort of, you just got to work with what you have at a certain point. And with a map like this, I just imagine same 3 hidden 1 hard rock thing. I think whenever you're in a situation where you have players who can read the hidden aspect, it's way better going for the hidden route. You have to deal with OD10 at hard rock. The small circle size just pretty tough.
But here we go. Seeing just the demon roster in again for kotomiler. Malice, worst hard rock player, Nahu, Skrilla. I mean, that's just scary. It's just aura to be in the lobby against that. And again, I think the same lineup as well for Bobik on the last free mod. And they're also going to have Antonio back on the hard rock, but this time, kotomiler, it's not going to be Krilla on the hard rock. We're going to have worst hard rock player on it. The worst hard rock player on hard rock.
Yeah, a bit of false advertising on the name, as I think most people know at this point. Does find a break though. But I mean, very good. I was just watching like SS the intro, which on hard rock on a map like this is already impressive. But yeah. Nahu's right now on a 300 combo. Antonio, though, also comboing the hard rock, which is super impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Again, it's like, you know, the mechanics for the map, not too demanding. Obviously, it's still extremely hard. You're going to have so many different control patterns, but at least every player going to be able to keep up in terms of the aim and the mechanics of the map. Antonio, unfortunately, dropping that hard rock FC. Gap Money was still there as well, but does lose it. But Malashevsky, Nahu's, and worst hard rock player to trade. Krilla and Jackpacks right now, the only ones with considerable combos, and Markram is there with the support. So I think the score is going to stay very close right now, but Bobik, first chance of getting a point here, it looks like, all off the back of Jackpacks. He's going to have to hold. There goes Markram. Not a good start for them, but Jackpacks, it's going to be all on his shoulders in the final third of this map. It's about a 100k diff, but he's going to have to keep putting in work here and hope for a miss from Krilla. Oh, he goes down.
That break, though, unfortunately, going to make this very difficult to do unless, I mean, kotomiler pretty much chain misses all their 4 players, but Kriller right now looking unstoppable on this hidden combo. Malice and worst HR player as well right behind. You have Antonio, who's putting up a phenomenal performance on the Hard Rock, matching worst HR player's score right now by just combo gaming. Does find a break, but holding up really, really well.
I mean, to say you even matched worst Hard Rock player on something like this is already a feat in itself. Unfortunately now, slipping by the wayside a bit. It's worst Hard Rock player continued to combo, but yeah, I mean, it's still a great effort. I think anything 300 plus K with Hard Rock on this is still a phenomenal performance. So, well done, honestly. And Bobik looking much, much better on that pick than they have on any other pick so far in this match.
Jackpacks with the 1 miss on the hidden. Very, very impressive. Wow. Kriller top scoring the lobby with the big combo game, but Jackpacks, I mean, had he dropped a couple less slider breaks, that one was doable. So good pick for sure. But going back into kotomiler's picks, and fortunately for Bobik, like pretty much all the tapping maps, not all of them, but almost all of them are gone. Kotomiler banning 2 of them out, Bobik banning DT3 out. So you really just have something like No Mod 2 if they want to lean into tapping, but they go for Hidden 3 instead. So they go for, I mean, this is a pick I could imagine Bobik wanting to go to considering their strategy so far. Once again, though, it's also a map that kotomiler is going to like a lot, very tech heavy hidden.
Yeah, I think relatively tech heavy, and I think it's had quite a few streams in it, if I remember correctly. I believe it was pretty streamy.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, something that might be a target at the tapping side for Bobik, especially not having some of their tapping players even here at the match. I mean, they've probably identified that by now. Yeah, Welter wasn't in for the tapping for the DT4, and Markham got 10k. I think we can assume Welter wasn't there, and also Scroll as well. I believe probably would have been in for that too. So,
unfortunately, this is 196 ppm, so it's not gonna be a big tapping gate, and custom by Nightmare as well. But I mean, hidden tech is just a strong suit for so many of these players on, I think, both teams. But when it comes to skill cap and the high end of this range, obviously you look at the players on kotomiler, and yeah, they're a bit favored.
Just a little bit, I think. And yeah, I mean, I think some of the stream aim in this one too is pretty brutal with hidden. You have to be very, very comfortable, consistently get through something like this in match. You can see already. I mean, just look at that. Like already out of the intro. So hard. Only 4 players in the lobby holding, and there goes one of them, Gap Money. It's 3 of the players now holding are all on kotomiler, and it's already looking considerably in the favor of kotomiler. Nahu does drop, but Kriller and Malashevsky, the 2 hidden goats, are there to hold on.
Malice does break, so it's Kriller once again with the big combo in the lobby. And I mean, this is something where, this is ranked, like Kriller's number 1 on this with like a 99.7% FC on hidden. And just hitting, I mean, you can see some of these space triples, these flame changes, and he's just crushing it right now.
He's just completely juicing it. This is just impressive. I'm just watching Kriller at this point, man. No one else can hold anything. Malice got some form of a combo, but it's just all Kriller. Oh, he's just looking way too good on this. He's gonna, at this point, looking like he could put up a 1v6 performance potentially, excluding Malice's score if he continues to hold this combo.
Potentially, I think he's getting close to the 1v4 threshold, especially with the breaks on the side of Bobik. I think the ending of that dream, but yeah, all of Bobik down. I'm just staring at Kriller at this point.
Yeah. Now this would be a disgusting FC. What are these patterns, Kriller? Dude. Nah, stop. What is this score?
Oh,
Kriller, no! He drops.
Tragic.
The final quarter. That was just filthy from Kriller.
Yeah, I mean, outstanding performance. Kriller, I mean, so far this lobby is if I had to guess, he's probably top match costing so far.
Yeah.
Just off the back of some really good hidden gameplay. And not too far off 1v4ing on this pick. Which is like, this is a crazy pick to 1v4. This is a unusual skill set. You normally expect 1v4s on speed, but not something like this.
Yeah, a hidden stream tech map 1v4 would be crazy. Unfortunately, he's going to fall short of it by about 100k. A little bit more.
I think it was really only Jack Packs on the side of Bobik who seemed, to be able to play the map relatively well. Getting 309k, solid score, almost matching Nahus and worst HR player, but Kriller over 700k, just absurd.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? What do you do when you're versing a team like this and like you're versing two of the best tournament players in the entire world, Malashevsky and West Hardrock player, and they're not even the ones top scoring. It's Kriller, who also, by the way, is one of the best tournament players in the world. But like, the big names you look out for are players like Malice, players like West Hardrock player, who are possibly, top 2, top 3 arguably in the world in tourneys. And Kriller's the one who's top scorer in the lobby. It's not even them. Like, what do you do if you're Bobik? That's just it's so hard to verse.
And I think did Kriller was like top 5 or top 6 in Corsair's closed. Obviously, Malice and Worst HR player were top 2, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, you have close the open rank 1v1 turn, and you have like several of the players who top podium that tournament on one team.
Yeah,
relatively tough matchup. But going into the next pick, so far Bobik's picks have been sound. And seeming like their best chances staying in hidden. We've been in sort of the hidden zone. 2 free mods that were obviously hidden focus, the hidden 3, now going to the hidden 2, the reading map.
Yeah, hidden 2. We actually saw a cheeky FC, I think, from Henry in the map pool showcase on this one. Pretty damn hard map. And yeah, I do back Bobik's strategy with picking something like this. I think, again, I'll be banking on the Markram factor, possibly on something like this as well. But I think a few players on Bobik should be okay on a low AR hidden. But, we'll have to wait and see. This hidden 2 has quite a few different aspects. Quite a few different skill sets, I would say, in terms of just a low AI hidden. Not super generic. There's definitely a bit of everything in this one.
Yeah, definitely a mixed skill set into. Sometimes you see hidden 2s that are like completely reading or completely flowing, or aim. This is a little bit of everything. And mapped by Alviaria, which I believe they mapped several. I want to say at least 2 maps in this pool.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be Markram hopefully popping off. Jack Pax likely is going to do pretty well on this as well. And then hopefully Gatmani and Antonio put up some solid scores. Antonio previously playing the hard rocks on the free mods. Not sure if they're as comfortable on the hidden aspect. I believe we've seen mostly the same format on either side for most of these picks, partly because of similar skill sets.
Yeah, and no one even moving from their slots as we move into the hidden 2 here. Everyone's staying completely put. Can we see another Markram pop off yet? Oh, what a great start for Antonio. Actually missing on the slow build-up section. Kriller finding an early miss as well. There goes Gatmoney, there goes Markram. Everyone adjusting to this A rate. It always can be a little bit awkward going from a different hidden map into a low AR hidden. Because hidden's one of the skill sets where obviously you have to judge where the circle was before it disappeared, right? And sometimes you do have to adjust to that different AR with hidden. No one really able to hold on to combos in this lobby. It's a full reset for Bobik. And kotomiler finding a few resets as well. It's just Kriller on that reverse choke right now.
Jackpax was holding a pretty big combo, unfortunately finding a chain miss. So Kriller, though, dropping gives them a bit of a chance now. Who's breaking as well. We have Malice and worst HR player holding Markram, dropping the center combo. It's another situation where obviously kotomiler is the one with the combos surviving the longest.
Yeah, I mean, pretty nice combos here from Malashevsky and worst Hardrock player. Unfortunately, just nothing to combat from Bobik, and the score differential is already double. And about a third of the map remaining, so it's already, I think, practically impossible for Bobik to bring this one back. Unfortunately, I think this match was completely doomed when they were, I believe, missing a few players. Like up against a team like kotomiler, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, can't do much. I mean, Mark, unfortunately, done starting the break on the 300 combo, but Malice right now is having his own pop-off. 800 combo now. A huge, combo build-up after finding a drop early. 800k by the end? Does he get 99?
Malice.
He almost got 99% ack on the ending. Like, looks like the hardest part to ack.
That's nuts.
Insane performance.
That's a nuts score from Malashevsky. One miss, near 99%. Almost 1v4ing as well. Seems to be the case on a lot of these maps. kotomiler are winning. There's just one player that's like either 1v4ing or almost 1v4ing.
Yeah.
Just every time there's just a different player who seems to be going crazy.
It is just taking turns. And an instant hidden one pick from, I believe, kotomiler. Yep. This is a hidden enjoyer's lobby. It seems. This is the high drawn map. Just your conventional sort of anti-aim, awkward aim hidden. Fortunately, I don't think we've seen a custom song so far, which is a bit of a bummer.
We haven't. I was about to comment on that as well. We have not gotten to see a custom song this match, and may not have the pleasure of seeing one if this map goes the way the rest of them have gone.
I need Bobik to win this and then pick No Mod 1.
That would be amazing. The No Mod 1 song is so good. I would love to see that too, but I am to get through this first. That's already an extremely difficult task. So, again, no one moves from their slots. Siege team just have 4 players here. Have we seen anyone else in the lobby? I genuinely can't recall. Oh, we saw Tomash. Tomash was here.
Yeah, we saw Tomash.
For kotomiler. I can't recall anyone else.
I wonder if we've seen... I don't know if Bobik has fielded anybody but those 4.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think they might have just had 4 today. Because, you can make your own thoughts about that.
Yeah. But here we go. Possibly the final map of the match. A hidden one. Be coming in. I believe a lot of anti-aim and linear aim, I think, in this hidden one.
Yeah.
And really difficult aim at that. So, again, bit of a mechanics test, but also bit of, are you comfortable in hidden and with like weird linear patterns? But kind of just, again, mechanics, as you can see already.
Pretty dense as well. 230 BPM, AR 9.6. AR is not super low, but the BPM is obviously very high to match, which with the type of patterns this map has proves a decent challenge. Off the beginning of the map, though, it's actually Bobik to hold the advantage, and now I am 100% praying for them. Markram and Jackpacks holding.
Already on the edge of my seat early. Look at this. Markram, Jackpacks. They're in it to win it. Markram does go down, and there goes the lead. It was a sliver of hope for a very short amount of time, but no, not completely quelled just yet. However, it's not looking promising as kotomiler has 4 big combos.
Jackpacks hits
that
it.
Pattern.
That
Krilla goes down and Jackpacks hits it. 3 of the players on kotomiler hit it. Jackpacks. Ooh. He's here to play.
Jackpacks is on the biggest combo in the lobby right now, but his worst HR player isn't too far behind, basically reverse choking. Just would have dropped on something silly in the intro, and Malice as well hitting that diff spike. There's a chance here if Malice and worst HR player drop in Jackpacks holds, but ideally Jackpacks gets some support from his teammates Markram right now, doing the best job of that.
Yeah, I think Jackpacks, at this point, he's probably going to have to FC to make this winnable. Malashevsky does miss. Nahus misses as well. Krilla's got that small supporting combo. Worst hard player is there.
Patterns.
Yeah, I mean, this is just unbelievably impressive to even see these scores right now from Jackpacks and worst hard player. These combos, rather. Unreal to actually even hold on in this map. Third of it remaining. Who's going to be the first to fold? It's going to have to be worst hard player if Bobik want to get a point on the board. It's Jackpax's turn to shine here.
I mean, this is already a phenomenal score from Jackpax. It's just Worst Stage Hard Player, unfortunately, is pretty much matching, and Kriller is not too far behind. Even if Worst Stage Hard Player breaks, it's going to put the onus on Jackpax to hold even more, but I'm shocked we're seeing these. The Worst Stage Hard Player breaks, there it is! There's the opening! There's the chance for Jackpax. Looking so good on this map. Kriller, though, 700 recovery.
Yeah, Kriller is there, and he's been playing well all match. What is that aim pattern, man? They both hit it. Kriller holding onto that support. I think Kriller might still have to miss for this to even matter. Jackpax is just having the performance of his life. Even if he FCs, I don't know if it'll matter unless Kriller misses.
I don't know if it would be enough. I think he's capped at like a bit over a million. Oh, does find a break.
I can't blame him. That looked unhittable.
I mean,
that looked completely unhittable.
An incredible effort from Jackpax. So you're in a lobby with like Malice now, who's Kriller Worst Stage Hard Player on the other team, and you're the one to beat them all. I think you gotta be stoked at your performance there. Unfortunately, yeah, just the 4v4. Look at this ending, man. No, okay, never. This was never getting FC. That ending was too cooked. That ending was too cooked.
That map is so hard. I'm actually really impressed to see so many high scores in the lobby. Pretty much 3 600 plus Ks. Kriller right on the cusp of it. Malashevsky there at about the 500k mark as well. But Jackpax top scoring the lobby, like you said, in a lobby with players like Malashevsky, Kriller, West Harder players, crazy.
Look at that combo. He's got the lead. He's got 1337.
Oh, yep. You'd love to see that. But there are gonna be your victors. kotomiler, I think, was the expected result going into it. Definitely the favorites. Unfortunately, it seemed that some players were missing for Bobik, and I think probably could have ended up being closer. I do, however, still think kotomiler. I see them coming out on top regardless, I think. But
yeah,
unfortunate for Bobik to get swept like that, missing a few players. So congratulations though to kotomiler. They will be advancing on into the upper grand finals.
Yeah, and apparently, actually, wait. Now that I think about it, yeah, Welter had to FF LGA because of the LAN, and I think there's the Russian LAN happening. That actually probably explains it. Unfortunately, the 3 of the Russian players not able to play, likely because of that. Yeah, understandable. But yeah, we have a winners grand finals happening in a bit under 4 hours at 16 UTC. So hope to see you there.
Yeah, stay tuned for 16 UTC. Well, not stay tuned, rather. Maybe come back in a few hours when the match is. But it's going to be the 2 super teams of the tourney here. Fresh Off the Boat and kotomiler going up in the uppers grand final. So that's going to be a 16 UTC again. Make sure you come back for that. And other than that, I've been Mavs and this has been Wardy. And cheers for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see ya.